Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye has friends. No, really, Jeff has friends. Jeff's friends are on this podcast. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship.
Friendship.
Welcome back to week 56 of Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast alongside Tony Reavis, baby. This week, we welcome into the Fortress of Solid Dudes, one of my favorite lady dudes, JESSIMAE Peluso. Love her so much. I first worked with her on Girl Code, and then I would see her all over, and we became pals the second that we hung out for the first time. Super cool chick, super funny, super fun to be around. She's very silly and playful and a happy person, which makes it fun to be around her. She also loves the drugs. So if you like drugs, well, this is the gal for you. Not all drugs, but, probably most of them. I don't really know. So we talk about that. We talk about getting to know each other, and then we talk about women in comedy. It just kind of happened. I don't know how, these conversations, you don't have anything planned, and then you just find yourself down a path, and you start going there. That's the beauty of being a stand-up comedian. Hope you guys enjoy. Shout out to Lawrence Taylor. He was number 56 in the NFL when me and Tony were just children. But he's the most famous 56, so you get it, LT. Shout out to you. We'd love to have you on the podcast sometime. What else? If you guys are just listening, thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe and rate and review on iTunes or wherever you're listening. If you'd like to watch the podcast, get free... if you want to watch the podcast, get... full access to all of our little videos and goodies and exclusive content and free comedy club tickets to any live performance that I will be at. Go to patreon.com/Jeff Dye and subscribe. It's $10 a month. You get unlimited stuff. Watch the pod, I think, is a little bit more enjoyable than listening to the podcast. We'll let you decide. Either way, we love all you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for making all of this possible. Enjoy the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Jeff Dye Friendship Podcast. Phones are off. We're in the Fortress of Solid Dudes with one of my favorite women.
Fortress of Solid Dudes?
Yeah, that's what we call it.
Is it like solitude, but it's dudes?
Yeah.
I like the planned words.
But you're not a dude. You're
I'm part dude.
You're the best. I look at a photo of you every morning. I have a framed picture of us together.
In the car?
No,
in San Francisco?
It's not from in the car. It's when we were interviewed by Nessa.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
In San Francisco, yeah.
And they took like a little portrait of us, and I kept it for so long.
Oh,
but then I found a perfect
little...
frame for it, so then it's framed.
That teeny little photo?
Yeah.
Wow, you found a little frame. That's cute. Girls love cute stuff like that.
At what's that store that has all those things, like Urban Outfitters or something like that?
Yeah, with all the little tchotchke stuff.
They have all the little stuff. Yeah, there's like a
of
nice
course
little
they would have
neon
a frame. It's like a basic girl.
How big is it? It's like a 2x2 picture? Like what
it's
is
like
it?
a small...
It's like a miniature Polaroid.
Even modern day Polaroid.
Wow.
It's like something that
That's
Kardashian
dedication.
would have on their makeup table.
Yeah.
Slag.
But we met in New York City because we were both on Girl Code.
Did we?
Yes.
I don't remember when we met.
You don't?
No, I don't remember the day.
Oh.
New York City.
Yeah.
Do you remember the day?
I don't remember the exact day.
Do you remember? You don't remember the second? Okay.
Well, but here's the problem with Girl Code is people always go, "Oh, Jeff, oh, you did Girl Code." This is not now, but like back in the day, they would say, "You do Girl Code. Do you know Carly?"
Yeah.
And I say, "Nah, never met her in my life."
We didn't film together.
No, yeah, we would just walk
individual.
in, shoot on the green screen. You might pass someone like as they're getting makeup done as you're leaving, but very rarely. And if you don't know them, you're not gonna be like, "Hey." So
yeah, it was a conveyor belt.
The only reason I got to know you is because you were doing stand up, and I would see you around. But also, we started getting to do college dates together.
That's right.
And that's how I got to like actually get to hang out with you and know you.
I have
so
a framed
whenever
photo
people
of us.
ask me about Girl Code, I say, "Well, I'm really friends with Tanisha and JESSIMAE.
We did a college gig together.
And Tanisha only because we've done a few colleges.
Yeah.
And she's really nice. But like I felt like you were like a real comedian.
Yeah.
Because Tanisha sometimes, there was the first time she'd only done stand-up for like maybe 5 or 6 times. And
She's
then
not, I don't think she's a stand-up.
Well, and at that
Is she?
time, she was trying to.
Right.
But she was like getting heaps of money to do university. And then she'd be like, all right, I might get off stage a little early. She'd go out there for like, she'd get off stage like after like 8 minutes. I'm like,
That's all you got?
I have to do what? I have to cover 90 minutes of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, get off stage. Yeah, you should get off stage the second
Right.
you step foot on
We should
it.
just be doing a Q&A for
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
We seriously.
And the college kids were so disappointed because they love Tanisha. She's way more popular on that show than I was.
Yeah.
So they're all like, yes, Tanisha Long. And then she's like, all right, goodbye. And now they're like, who's
They're like,
this
what was
guy?
that?
Yeah. And then I had to really win them over. Luckily, my stand-up would win them over, but they would be like, who was that guy? Like, it was the weirdest.
I saw you. The most recent time I've seen you was at the Lemon Haze Festival.
Yeah. Which I
on
didn't know
Candy
was a
Fest.
weed thing. I didn't
You
know it was
didn't know
I didn't know
that?
it was a weed thing. I thought
Did
it was
you
just
get
like a
weed?
stand-up comedy show. I got weed. Yeah, they
Good.
gave me a ton of weed.
Remember we were talking to the mayor, the
Made me so
the
happy.
woman mayor. That was
Yeah.
really cool. She
You
was
know,
a cool
that's
chick.
why they booked me for this. Not because of the weed thing, not because they thought I was some famous person, but because I'm born and raised in Kent, Washington.
Yep.
I've been doing stand-up for 13 years, never once performed in Kent, Washington. So they were like, you know that you
I mean,
drove.
where would you, though?
Yeah, where
Right.
would you? Like in a tent?
Yeah.
Well, and that's what the guys afterwards, there was a
My
couple of
uncle's
these
house?
like great guys, and they kept saying like, you know how many tickets you sold? Like we sold so many tickets because of your like, they were able to tell who was there to see who by
Yep.
the code.
Yep.
So if you put in a code with like Hannibal, put in a code for JESSIMAE, and so they were like, you know, they used me as just getting people in the door.
well,
But
you
we
know,
had
that's
super fun.
nice.
Yeah.
At
I'm
least
shocked
that works.
Jubal couldn't move tickets.
Jubal.
Well, you know, Jubal's definitely the most famous person in that area,
He definitely is.
but he's always performing there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So of course
it's
he's not going to
it's
move
not a
tickets.
commodity.
It wasn't special.
Yeah.
They could see
Jeff
Jubal.
Dye was special.
Yeah.
But not a weed guy. So when I showed
Not
up, I was
a
like,
weed guy.
Yeah, you aren't a weed dude at
well,
all.
I smoke weed.
But you're not. You don't give me that vibe.
Right. Here's the thing.
You smoke it like
I want to know your obsession with weed. Not obsession,
I'm
but
not
your
obsessed.
interest. You love it.
I do
you
love
found
it.
quite a community of people
I
that
do love it because I think the alternative is so much worse. Drinking, as much as I smoke weed.
I thought you were saying the alternative
Heroin?
of
Not being high.
not being on drugs.
Yeah.
Ugh.
no, that's great. I love that part. But I mean,
Yeah.
like sobriety. No, because living in New York, the
Yeah.
culture is you drink. You don't need to
Right.
drive anywhere.
That's my
and
style.
everything's open till 4, and like 4, they're like, whatever, just stay.
Yeah.
You know, so there's no real time limit on
Please don't
drinking in
go.
New York. It's just such a debaucherous city.
Yeah.
That's
and then
the part I love
transition
most about New York is
Well,
I
it's
could
great.
just drink all day
Yeah,
and night.
it's a party. You know, I lived there in my 20s, so I definitely like reaped the whole
Yeah.
purpose. But then moving to LA, I don't fuck around with drinking and driving.
Okay.
So I just the natural progression was drinking less and then smoking more and then
Right.
just
Did you smoke then too?
in New York,
Yeah.
infrequently.
Okay.
But I didn't really enjoy it because I was like, what am I going to sit here and pontificate?
Right.
I want to fucking do shots and scream at strangers.
Yeah, have a good time.
I want to have a good time.
Because
wanna
I
mix
feel like
it up.
Fit in New York that way.
there is a weed community.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you're in it.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm in it.
Yeah.
I also like I don't smoke to get high. I smoke to get right. Like I don't like to be zooted out.
Right.
You know,
I don't know a lot of the terms you've been using.
zoots. You know, like
Zoots,
you get zoots
pontificating.
I just know.
I don't know.
Zoot Riot. That's the only one I
I
know.
always say zoots magoots. It's like
Yeah.
you know,
You
little,
got ooh, you got got, you got oogots. You're like, what interview is this? I have no idea.
Zoots is like zooted out. Like you're high, too high. I don't like to
Oh,
get
I
too
see.
high.
I hate that.
I don't like it at all.
Yeah, that's
I don't
my
like the
least favorite.
paranoia associated with it. I like to be able to sleep well. I like to be able to be a little more creative.
Yeah.
Maybe zone out a
Laugh
bit.
a lot.
Laugh a lot. I don't like to be so high that I'm like
That's so interesting because I don't do anything, and it's
Yeah.
for, and it's-
Nothing?
no, nothing.
Nothing.
And it's for that reason though. Like I feel like I don't want to. I feel like I'm more creative this way.
You can't say you're more
I
creative.
don't know.
How
'cause I
would
don't
you
know.
know?
I
You
don't
don't
exactly.
know.
I don't know, but I feel like I don't want to lose the
You don't
I
wanna
would
let
encourage
go.
you.
brain function I have.
But I would encourage you. It's always going to come back to the brain function you have. So you should try it, then rule it out. Go, okay. Like find a safe place.
What are you
it, be
afraid
alone.
of?
I'm not afraid of anything.
Brain dead?
Not afraid of anything. No,
You are
it's just-
afraid of something because you haven't tried. You haven't tried anything?
No, I'm just.
There's a fear of letting
completely
go
straight
going
edge,
on there.
So
Well, but I'm saying like you should go to like a safe place and then just go, all right, I'm going to try this so I can rule it out.
Yeah, I think you should rule it out for sure because
Yeah.
you don't want to be in your deathbed wondering. That's not the time to stick heroin in your dick.
yeah. No, but I just don't have I don't have the impulse or the interest though.
You don't
Like
have.
it's not like something I feel like I'm regretting.
Are
Yeah.
you?
No, of course not, or else you'd be
So-
doing it. But I'm just saying there's a
Or that
whole
I'm
other
missing out on.
world. Like
Yeah.
58 million people can't be wrong. You know,
Yes.
like they're all
I
doing
agree.
something. And sure, there doesn't have to be a
No, I'm
need.
down with the cause for sure.
Well, it doesn't
but
have to
I'm
be
just-
like a need. You're
I
like,
don't
I
want
don't
anyone
need
to
it.
panic, but
Yeah.
my hand
I
is
also-
stuck in the mug. Don't do
Looks
drugs,
like
but my
that's
hand's
the-
stuck in the mug.
That's your gift for coming
Wait a
on the,
second.
the podcast.
Because sometimes people will say, look at this, she's really stuck in there. This is fantastic.
I'm like, you should totally do shrooms. Wait, can you get my hand
Yeah.
out of this?
Should we call the fire
There we
department?
go.
There.
Oh,
okay.
No, but
I
here's
was
the
like,
thing.
fuck.
So sometimes people are like, well, I don't do it. I don't need it. No one needs it.
No one needs it. It's
don't
not about the
need
need.
to watch Dumb and Dumber, but we enjoy it. It's a thing, and you do it.
That's
and you
just a
enjoy
cop out. We
Yeah, I'm
don't
not
need
making that argument.
houses. You could live in a tent. You don't need
Yeah,
5
right.
pairs of sneakers. You could have one.
Yeah.
It's not about the need. I think like I love that we're forcing you to do drugs.
No,
Yeah.
but also, I don't
Yeah.
want him to get addicted and like go to a basketball game high. I'm not trying to give him acid and take him
You
to
can't
Disneyland.
get addicted to weed.
I'm saying go to a safe place around maybe a person or maybe 0 people or maybe 10 people that you trust.
Yeah.
I gotta be
Whatever
scared if
you're
I was by
most
myself.
comfortable doing,
Yes.
and then try like
A
a
little bit, microdose.
of like a thing, and then you can go,
Wow, look
oh
at that.
yes, I hate this, and then you don't ever do it again.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
oh, I get it. This makes me feel a little relaxed. My anxiety's gone. I feel like a little more chill. I wrote a whole script in 2 hours.
It could happen.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It could happen.
that's what people do generally.
People do that.
Yeah.
Do. Have you what's your astrological sign?
I'm a Taurus.
A Taurus.
Yeah.
Would you describe yourself as a
A mid-sized sedan.
Yeah, that's 4-door for sure.
Are you a neat freak? Meticulous individual?
That's a yeah.
Yeah.
That's a yeah.
Control freak per se?
What about a mental control freak?
Yes.
Like Chris Angel.
Totally
what are you
different.
talking about?
No, like you're very organized in your thoughts.
Yeah.
And so that's what the fear comes in. It's like,
That's
well,
a
I don't
fear
want
of
to
letting
lose
go.
this
Yeah.
fear of
Yeah. That might
But
be
the
it.
irony is
That might be it.
my speculation is if you do go through with this and do microdoses, some shrooms or something. Because you know,
I
like
wouldn't do shrooms. I just want him to try some
what do
weed.
you want to do? Weed?
Yeah, or even an alcohol. Like I try
Have
like
you
a
never tried weed?
No, I've never even
Okay,
had a
yeah,
drink.
maybe you should
I've
start
never even
with-
had a drink.
Yeah, I've never had mushrooms.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
I
mean,
haven't
like,
either.
imagine him at his house alone, listening to a record, and someone pours him just like a little thing of whiskey.
Yeah.
If he's never had it, he's gonna go, why am I doing this? And you're gonna drink it and go, ugh. But then you go, oh.
Oh, yeah. And then you go,
I
okay,
see.
and then
Yeah.
you just then you have a little bit more, and you just in your
and then you
underwear.
listen to the record more, and you just.
You order grilled cheese at 2
I
a.m.
believe I would be a grumpy, anxious mess for some parts of my life if I didn't know how to treat it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a little, like have a little
You've
bit.
seen me grumpy. You've seen me.
I've seen
all
you
these different
grumpy.
things. Yeah, but then I drink and I go, oh, I was being wrong back there. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Love all you guys.
It's
I
like
hug
the
everyone.
Snickers commercial, but with alcohol.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you're a little
Yeah.
bit of a mess, and then
And
you
I
have a
shouldn't.
little.
I shouldn't need it, but I also go. I don't want to be a grump around my friends.
But it's not a need. It's a device that people use.
Yeah,
It's not
a
a,
tool.
need. It's a tool.
Yeah, for me,
There's a lot of tools.
the Snickers thing is just a Snickers. That's all I need.
You just need a snack.
Yeah,
You
that'd
just
be
need a
great.
snack.
You're
You're like, I
addicted
don't
to
need.
Snickers.
I don't need a bump. I just
Yeah.
need a
no,
berry.
No, I want
Well,
the
I
candy.
will say
yeah.
one thing that agitates me. Actually, you sell what is it? A little weed box, like
Yeah,
a little
stash
thing,
boxes.
stash box. And then what's inside? There's like a beautiful glass thing. With
Yeah,
a
there's
picture of
stash
you.
jars and like grinders.
So
Basically,
cool.
like accessories for grinding up your herbs.
Yes, it's great, and they're really well made. I
They are
don't
nice.
like merch generally.
Yeah,
Even
it's-
my own merch, I'm always like embarrassed I'm selling it. Whereas yours looked nice. It looked like well made.
Yeah.
It looked sturdy. It looked
you.
nice. Yeah, it looked like very OCD. I was like, this
I'm
would
a
be
little OCD.
this would be how I would keep my weed
Yes.
if I had like
Yeah.
a big collection
I'm
of
a
weed.
very OCD individual.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've felt the way about merch in the past, but when you
Just
come
do it
with
right.
a package, you're leaving money on the table if you don't also
Absolutely.
bring them a little something they can go home with. People
Yeah.
want to go home with a little piece of you.
I just can't imagine my heroes slinging merch. Like imagine Andy
Are you
Kindler out
people's
there.
heroes?
Like,
Are you calling
how
yourself the people's hero?
No, I'm saying I
That's
try
your
to
new
do what
nickname.
my heroes do.
Anytime I I bring you to the stage, I'm going to call you the people's hero.
The people's hero, Jeff Dye.
Mike
you go.
Tully is a friend of mine. He's a podcaster and comedian. He calls me the people's champ. I'm calling you the people's hero.
That's I'll
That's
take
it.
it. No, but like, man, like I try to do what my heroes do. Can you imagine Greg Giraldo out there? Like, hey, buy my Greg Giraldo book bag. Like,
He's probably rolling over in his grave about the book that's out right now about him. He's
absolutely.
probably like, what the fuck?
These motherfuckers.
This isn't comedy.
Robbing my fucking grave. Wait, so one thing I will tell you, because I didn't want to sound like I was talking about you. I don't like when people are so obsessed with weed that they need like a marijuana leaf hoodie.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, I have a marijuana leaf hat. And,
Yeah.
ooh, my marijuana
Like, they stick
show.
so-
It's like Vice. It's
Yes.
like, we get it.
Yeah.
Like, I love whiskey, but you don't see like everything in my house. Like, oh, I got a whiskey shirt. No, I'm doing a podcast where we only drink whiskey.
I
Like,
did see a framed photo of a whiskey glass in your house
Next
when I
to-
walked
in the
up.
kitchen,
Right
yeah,
in the
like,
kitchen.
actually,
I
you're
will say
right,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. So
one little piece. However, there's 75,000 things framed in my
there
house.
are. You have so many frames. You're keeping the frame store in business.
That is true, and that guy is rich off me. I just saw him today, actually.
Is it
My
one guy that's
one
framed your
guy's
whole
framed
house?
everything in my house.
You're very loyal.
Yeah, I like that guy too.
to, what the fuck are those chairs? Are
Oh, those are for
chairs?
gaming, video games.
I just noticed them. Like, those things look like, do you do chiropractic work on the side?
We should do a montage of this podcast of how many times people have been on course and then they get distracted by some nonsense
Yes.
I have in this room.
There's so much nonsense.
Last week I was listening to. Do you ever listen to your own podcast?
Never. No, I do. I do.
Oh, I do. I listen
Yeah.
to each episode and see what we could do better, see what moments were good. And there's one with BT Kingsley where if you don't watch it, you'll think it's like he had
Like
a mental
ADHD.
breakdown or something. Because he's talking, and then he just names a wrestler from the wrestling box.
Oh, you got Papa Shango.
Yeah, mid-sentence. Oh, you got Papa Shango? And then we didn't go off on that course.
Yeah.
We stayed what we were already talking about.
There was no yes and to
So then
that.
he just keeps talking about the other subject.
Yeah.
So you're
There's
always like,
Hulk Hogan.
why did he just talk about Papa Shango?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Well, when
Yeah.
there's so many in that
Yeah.
case. I've never seen a collection like that. You are OCD about like everything. You collect everything. Like you have all the frames, all of these.
Yeah, I love stuff. What
You
else are we
do
gonna
have
spend our money
stuff.
on?
I
you
know. What's your favorite thing to spend money on?
My friends. I like buying stuff for people.
Is that true?
Yeah, he takes care of me.
Food, coffee, like
that's
just
nice.
anything. Anytime I think of somebody, I got a good one. This week is one of my. I'm so excited. I bought it for this guy weeks ago, but he lives in Cleveland, and I'm not gonna see him. I only see him like 2 times a year.
Yeah.
He's just a really great guy. His name's John Brutton, comedian. Shout out! I'll already have given him this gift by the time this airs. So I'm going to Cleveland this weekend. Hey, get your tickets. Hilarities. But the guy's
Hilarities.
name's John Brutton. He told me that his great uncle played in the Negro Leagues, Major League Baseball. And so he grew up just like being always taken to baseball games and stuff like that. I found his dad's rookie card from the Negro Leagues slabbed in like a PSA case. Cost me a little bit of scratch, but I bought it and I haven't told him anything.
He's
and
gonna
so
cry.
I'm so excited. Yeah, it's going to be great.
He is going to cry.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
That's wild. That's really
Yeah.
thoughtful.
Yeah.
You should
Wait.
be like, that should be your job to like find people thoughtful gifts for
I try
other
to find
people.
little things.
Where's my fucking gift?
Well, hey, speaking of that, someone gave you a gift that you posted on Instagram that made you cry, like a great little artwork of your dad.
Yeah.
I love that video.
This guy, Scott, he booked me for a show in Peru, Indiana.
Didn't know there was a Peru.
I know,
Indiana.
Peru, Indiana, very exotic. You should go there for your
Yeah.
honeymoon.
I've always wanted to meet the Peruvians.
Yeah, they're great people.
In
they really are
Indiana.
great people. It was a really fun show. And then he presented me with this
It was such a nice
etched
gift.
wood of the first time I ever did stand-up comedy.
I'm honored.
That photo is from.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I'm honored that I can get to say that I got to hang out with your dad.
You did, and we were in
He was
Florida.
amazing and very funny.
He was
and
just an amazing dude. Yeah.
I've met a lot of old people. I've never met a guy his age that rolls with it.
Oh, he just rolls with
He's
it.
fine with whatever.
Yep.
You want to joke about whatever, he's there for you.
Yep.
He's got you. Like
He just goes
the
tit for
best.
tat. Yeah,
you
he's
don't
really
mind.
good.
You want to talk about farts? You want to talk about gays? Whatever you want.
Yes,
You want
he really could. He was almost like a Trivial Pursuit, like encased as a human. He could talk about every little
yeah,
subject.
and very playful, and he loved you to death, which
Yeah.
was it was
Literally,
fun to
'cause
watch.
he died.
As far, Yeah, till death. But it was fun to watch that dynamic too. I'm like real obsessed with like parent-kid relationships. We talked about it briefly on the Josh Wolf episode.
It
but
is
Yeah.
I
interesting.
like to sit back and kind of see what people's dynamics are with their parents, and it was really nice. It was fun to be a
What
part
is
of.
yours? Did you have awkward upbringing?
Nope. I mean,
Good
my parents
parents?
were, they always working and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like my parents are like these aliens. I feel like I've talked about it before.
Yeah, you
I
have
don't think I've ever
talked
talked
about
about it
that.
on here before.
You've
but
talked
with
about
you,
it with me.
I've never met people who are just like, oh, we have no interests. We have no friends. We don't hang out with the family. I'm like, what?
What do you do?
A way to live. And so that's why I'm obsessed with everything.
Yeah.
I don't just watch wrestling. I go to wrestling. I meet wrestlers. I talk wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm upset. I get the toys. Oh, you like comedy? I go to comedy. I'm a comedian. I'm like, so like, I kind of just get carried away with everything the way they got carried away about nothing. I want to be like doing everything.
That's
and they want to be
interesting that
doing
they had
nothing.
no interest.
It's weird.
Really, nothing?
Not really.
Each other?
I suppose.
They're still together.
They're still together.
I mean, that's a long marriage.
Yeah.
That's like what, 40 years?
Well, like, what did your parents do? Like, when they got home from work, what they like to do?
Just yell at each other.
Really? But did they
Oh,
like?
man.
Did your mom cook?
Yeah, a little
She
bit.
liked cooking and an interest in cooking.
Yeah. My dad would read
my
the
mom
paper.
didn't cook,
No.
and neither did my dad. Okay, so how about this? Did they do any drugs?
No, unfortunately, they probably should have. Wine.
Did they drink?
Wine.
Oh, they drank wine.
Yeah.
There you go. My parents
wine and
didn't
beer.
drink, didn't do any drugs. Did they have like friends you would
Yeah.
know? Like they would come over to the house. You'd be like, oh, that's
Yeah,
our,
we'd go to houses. We'd have people
my
over
mom's
for
friend
dinner.
Donna. You know, my parents, nobody, not the neighbors, not anybody out of state, like no friends.
That's bizarre.
Bizarre. They would literally work, and then they would come home, and they just wanted to kind of like watch TV and stuff.
Do they work at the mortuary? Maybe it sucked the life out of them.
You'd think so.
What do they
Yeah.
do for work?
Nothing they were even passionate about. My mom worked in a bunch of different little things, like doing billing for like a medical office. Then she worked at corporate Costco and memberships. My dad worked at like a parts department. Now he cleans pools. Even the work they do, they weren't very passionate.
What about what they like to eat? Do they like to eat good stuff?
No.
What, toast?
They would be very boring. It would be like stuff that anyone could make, like rice-a-roni or like, like some sort of like hamburger helper. And then when they were really splurging, this is, I guess, an interest.
My mind is blown.
They would go to a place, like a pizza place, right? And we would think it's a real treat because we didn't have a lot of money. We'd be like, we're going out to eat pizza. They would be obsessed with this place called Papa Murphy's, where you get the pizza from them, take it home and cook it yourself.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Rude.
We're
Yeah.
doing the work.
Rude. I'm spending not only my like coming out, I'm spending like going out to eat money. That's like if I'm
Rude.
cooking the food, that's so you're a
Yeah.
grocery store?
Yeah, they have exactly. They had no like ovens or anything. I was like, this is so
That's
weird.
rude.
Yeah.
That's my new thing. I just call everyone rude now.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Rude.
I
A,
love
good
that.
point. B, rude. Very
Self check. I have to check out my own groceries. Rude.
rude. Rude. No one's there. Rude.
I love stuff like that. Like mine, the one that I'm on right now is just like grow up. Like even when it's not something that like warrants that response,
Right.
Just like grow up.
Just
Like
to a
in the
kid's
Lil Dicky
face.
video when he tells the little kids to grow up.
That's great.
He's like, we have an environmental crisis. Grow up.
Yeah.
They're like 5.
Yeah.
Or not
Like,
5. They're like
well-
10 probably.
We've got some time to do that. I love Lil Dicky.
Me
Oh,
too.
He's brought some fun back to rap.
yeah.
He really has.
I've every time I've watched a Little Dicky thing, shout out to him, watch the Earth video, it's fantastic. And
I
then
haven't
watch
seen
his-
that yet.
Oh.
I gotta watch it.
Watch Freaky Friday, great video with Chris
Yes,
Brown.
so good.
And then there's the Pangea one, which most people
Pillow
like.
talking, yeah.
Yeah, Pillow Talk. So I've seen those 3. I think you sent them to me, or you sent me one, and then I watched
Rabbit
the
hole,
Pillow
yeah.
Talk.
Yeah, you went down
And
the rabbit
then, but anyways, now this last couple weeks, I've started to like dive in. I didn't realize how phenomenal he is.
Yeah, 'cause we
He's
listened
so
to a bunch of
good.
it. We listened to a bunch of his album, his like last album on the trip we went to. So
I was blown away.
yeah,
He's really talented.
Yeah,
Is
he
he?
is.
He's on Snoop's label, isn't he? Who is he working
He has
with?
to be.
I think he is.
Because there was a music video about him, like wanting to get into rap, but he has to go through Snoop to get into
Yeah.
rap.
Yes.
That's
So maybe
funny.
that's kind of the same thing. Maybe that's
Yeah.
how he was able to make
Is that
it.
the same video where he asks the woman to use her mansion to make
No,
the
that's a
video?
different one.
that's a different one, but that
Oh,
one's
that
amazing.
one's so good.
That one's great.
They
Did
did a
the
whole
whole
documentary.
concept.
They did a
Yeah.
whole documentary about that.
Yeah.
Oh, a short one. Yeah.
Well, short one, but
Yeah.
like they filmed their day and like how they made that video happen, which is crazy.
That's
I
wild.
like the club owners. Like, if you haven't seen it, it's with Fetty Wap, and it's what's it called?
Save that money.
Save that money. But the whole premise is that they're trying to shoot a whole rap video bragging about how much money they have without spending any money. But there's one part where they go to this nightclub in Los Angeles and they're like, hey man, you know, it's going to get tons of hits. We'll put your name like at the bottom so they'll know what club we were in. The guy's like, hey, no interest, man. He's like, dude, I have like millions of hits. The guy's like, I've never heard of you. Like, we're sorry, we don't. But I love that he's like trying to show him like, look at my videos.
And
like, how many?
The guy told him, was like, yeah, well, I mean, if you pay like $350 for bottle service, then you can do it. It's like, you're telling me that millions of hits
Isn't
not
worth
more than
$350,
$350? And then they eventually let him in. But
The guy looked like a chump.
yeah.
$350?
Yeah, it's like,
Sir,
do you know how much that's worth in
understand
ads?
the value
Yeah.
of money?
I kind of get how the guy that works there would be like, dude, no. Because like how many times you get
How
some
many times do
loser.
people come up to you?
But once he starts showing them the videos, I'd be like, wait.
and
Yeah,
he tried,
come on in.
and
Yeah,
did
this
you
is-
see what he tried to do too? Like he was out because it's on the Hollywood Boulevard, and like people came out like, oh my God, are you Lil Dicky? He's like, this is perfect that you recognize me. All right, I'm going to walk up to this guy. You got to walk by and then recognize me in front of this guy. Hilarious.
I love that.
Yeah, he's fun. I like
Wait,
that.
so this is I was going to ask you this first, but now we've launched into all these
Tell
other
me.
things. How did you, were you doing stand-up before Girl Code?
Yes.
How long?
Girl Code was, what year was Girl Code?
Like 2000,
8?
I don't
Nine.
know, way after that.
Yeah.
What year is it?
Like 2014, 2015?
Oh, that's right.
So I
So
was already in
I have
LA.
been doing stand up for 7 years?
Okay.
Almost. I
So-
think I started in like 2000.
They found you from
Or-
that?
I did philosophy. Gareth Reynolds and
Oh, yeah.
Evan Mans.
How'd they book you for that?
I think they just found me through stand up.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
through
that's
stand
perfect.
up. Yep.
Yeah, because
Just-
I always wonder how I started in Seattle and then didn't get on TV till like Last Comic Standing.
Yeah.
But then that's what got me all my other TV shit.
Yep.
Is that they were like, oh, we found he's on Last Comic. Now he's moving to LA.
Yeah.
This is how it happens. So I'm always curious for you, like, because MTV tried to like lock you down. They tried to make you like
one
the
of those
face of
overall
MTV,
deals.
which is the best decision you ever made. Was
I
not
mean,
doing
I was
that.
just like, no way. I'm left in the middle of Girl Code to come to do E. I had like an overall deal with
Right.
E to do a whole bunch of like developmental stuff with them, like pilots and stuff. And that was the year Chelsea went on. Remember, she went on Howard Stern and
Yeah.
was talking crap about E and the
Yeah.
network and her show, subsequently leaving. And then Joan passed. And then one of the executives got fired. So that whole year where I was like in this incubation process of creating content for them,
They're
everything got shelved.
panicking. Yeah.
They were just plugging holes. So it was
Jeez.
just, the timing was terrible, but it was also, I learned a lifetime's amount of stuff in a year for a career, I think. Just learning how to like handle all that failure
Yeah.
and have your hopes up.
Or yeah, just like being teased is what it
Being
feels like.
That's what this industry, this career is always a cock tease.
Yeah.
And you're just on the brink of coming.
It always feels like you're always in the moment before.
Yeah,
Like,
just
oh,
right
this thing's
before.
about to happen.
And then,
you're just kind of waiting
some
for it.
pop-up ad comes and you lose your
Yeah.
zest.
Well, I was on a show. I did a show with
No, don't show the guy's face. Yeah.
I did a show with Ashton Kutcher called Numbnuts, and it was during the time of like Jackass, The Dudesons, CKY, all this
Numbnuts?
stuff. But that's why they were calling it Numbnuts, because they were like, these guys will be the Numbnuts, these guys are the Jackasses,
Right.
these guys are the Dudesons, you know, it's kind
Yeah.
of a thing. And then literally, this sounds so crazy, but this is how they discussed it on set. They're like, have you seen the show? It's like they're making fun of these people, but it's a documentary, but they're like these Guido-y kind of like Jersey people. And during one of the shoots, a chick she was being so annoying to a dude that he punched her in the face. You got to check it out. Everyone's talking about it. So my executives, and we're like, why are you guys happy that this girl got punched in the face?
terrible.
They're like, dude, it's hilarious, but she was totally asking for it. Like, that's how the network's
She was
talking about.
totally
Jesus.
asking for
So the
it.
network's bragging about all this different stuff. I don't think it's going to affect my career. We just start shooting. We're like, it's me, Jason Goldberg. Is that his name? I remember. He's like the head of, he like created Punked. I remember it was Jason Goldstein, Jason Goldberg.
That does sound
Can't
familiar.
remember.
There's
It's
a
gotta be-
gold.
it's gotta be a
the
Bur-
gold part is
He was
right.
kind of a
Bernstein.
jerk to me, to be
Yeah.
honest. He was a jerk to everyone. He's married to Punky
Bernstein Bears.
Brewster.
He's Soleil Moon Frye,
Yeah, he's
which
married
is
to her.
like,
She's gorgeous.
what kind of acid were her parents on?
Oof, I love Soleil
She is
Moon Frye.
gorgeous.
But so, anyways, it was me, him, and then Ashton Kutcher was all like via email because he's like an A-list celebrity. So the show's in production, and then like the next day, or not the next day, probably a few days later, we get all this like thing being like, hey, this is the new show. It's called Jersey Shore. Like ratings went through the roof when Snooki got punched.
It was Jersey Shore.
Yeah, they're like, we're scrapping all dude stuff. Forget Jackass, forget Wild Boys, forget Numb Nuts. Put it all on a shelf. We need girl programming. We had no idea. Like all the girls are watching Jersey Shore. So they picked up 15 and Pregnant, picked up Teen Mom, picked
16 and pregnant,
or whatever
15
it is.
and pregnant.
Isn't that what it is?
Might as well have been.
Yeah, it's all these
We're,
girls.
we're picking up 13 and a half, just got
Yeah.
her period and is
12
pregnant.
and Pregnant.
12 and pregnant Mormons.
Hey, have we talked about that on here?
What?
The youngest girl to ever get pregnant?
How old?
We had to have talked
I
about
think
it.
so.
In America?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
I think we
It's
talked about it a long time
Oh,
ago.
man. It's one of my favorite games
Nick
to play
Greco,
with
that's
someone.
when we talked about it.
It's one of my favorite games to play with people. I've done this 1,000 times.
Okay.
It's only backfired once.
All right.
Because one time people were like, why are you interested in this? And I was like, oh,
Because it's a cool fact.
I thought we would all be interested in this.
I Googled the
What's-
oldest woman to give birth today, so.
Really?
I'll come back
so
at
the
you.
youngest... What is the youngest age you believe a woman got pregnant and had a healthy baby? Or
8.
had a baby?
8.
Okay. Your guess is 8? You're way off, by the way.
Oh, God. I'm going to have a panic attack.
Yeah, and she's still alive to this day.
No. I don't want to know.
Although the baby
I don't wanna
only lived to
know.
be like 40 years old.
Oh, no.
Ready? I'm
Why
going to
did the
find it.
baby die? Oh, God. Mother Nature's a cunt.
It was like, yeah, still like 40-something years old. He had some complications, but
Why
it
do you have
wasn't
to
a birth
Google-
defect.
what?
It wasn't.
You have to Google this? You
It's
don't have
been-
it just memorized?
It's been like a year. I don't want to say.
You don't have this number? Just
oh,
it's
here she
only
is.
one digit. How do you not memorize it?
That's true. Because I like to play with the things like, well, that means she got pregnant at this age, because you try to do that.
younger than 8. Oh, God. Oh, no.
Oh, it's younger than 8.
No.
She was 5 years old.
I'm sorry. Oh,
She was 5 years old, 7 months and 21 days, which means she got pregnant at 4 years,
no. No.
9 months.
That's not possible.
Yeah.
Am I on numb nuts?
Yeah, she got pregnant at 4 and
Can
9
I
months.
see?
Yeah, and actually, I'll show you some photos of it.
Oh. What
her name's
nationality?
Lena Medina. She's Spanish. Or no, she's Peruvian. Sorry to call back.
From India. Or Indiana.
She's from Peru, Indiana.
Yeah.
Also, like, we're told that's not even a possibility. She's
Yeah.
definitely a product
Well,
of.
wait,
no
how-
one knows the dad.
How can that be possible? Wait, that doesn't make sense. She would have to have gone through.
Some sort of menstruation.
Yes.
Evidently, she did.
I mean, that's like a prodigy, not in the good sense
not
of the
like-
term.
You play piano really well.
Yeah, like figuring out chess is one thing. Speaking 4 languages at 2 years old, but being penetrated by a male.
Oh yeah, she didn't know that she was the mom of her baby until she was like 10 years old. They had to tell her, like, that's your baby, that's your son.
How did she
didn't
breastfeed?
she didn't understand.
Who breastfed the baby?
I don't know.
How many years
Breastfeeding.
ago was this?
It was 1933. She's still alive.
What? Where? Get her on the podcast.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Although she has no recollection of having the baby. She has
Of
because she was
course
too
not. Do
young.
you remember anything when you were 5?
No. Well, and also
Thank God. What a nightmare. All you're doing is crying and shitting your pants. I mean, no one wants to remember
when
that.
they asked her, they're like, who did this? She's like, I don't know.
Who
Like,
did it?
Yeah, 'cause
Where's
I mean
that
that-
fucking Netflix documentary?
the dad actually got arrested, obviously for like molesting his daughter,
What
but then
the-
got released because they're like, well, there's no evidence saying that he did it. In fact, the little girl's not even saying
What do
he
you mean
did.
no evidence? You do a DNA test on the baby.
It was 1933.
That's true. Fuck. Are we so lucky? I mean,
Yeah.
talk about just a nightmare being born in that era.
Oh yeah.
No
Sincerely.
Twitter and no DNA test.
Look, this is her.
5 years old.
I wonder how many,
That's her, and then the nurse is holding the baby next to her.
how many anti-Maury Povich moments we would have got in the 30s. Like,
Are you sure this is not just like a nightmare?
Yeah, I'll show
From-
I'll show you a
This
real
is a
A
photo.
Twilight-
movie?
a
Are you sure
Twilight
this isn't
Zone
Twilight
episode?
Zone episode?
I'll confirm you this one too. Like, there's a
God,
picture
I
of
have
her.
I'm having like an anaphylactic reaction.
I don't like it. I don't-
That'll make you really mortified. It's a picture of her pregnant, so you can see her belly, and the baby was totally healthy.
You know what this sounds like? This honestly sounds like some sort of like reverse Kevorkian test. Like
Some sort of study.
some sort of
Yeah.
study, like how Kevorkian was like helping people pass on to their next life. This guy was trying to figure out how to make people give life way too
Yeah.
soon. Like, did you see that documentary, 3 Identical Strangers?
Yeah.
That's
I
what
just
this reminds
watched
me
it
of.
this week.
Does
Tony,
that remind
here's
you
the
of
story.
that?
I'll give it to you.
Don't give a spoiler.
No spoilers.
Tony needs to watch it.
I'll watch
have
it,
a glass
but
of
what's
whiskey, though. You have to
I'll
have a
give you
glass
the
of
premise.
whiskey.
I'll give you
What's
what
it
they.
about?
I'll give you what they give you in the trailer, or
Okay,
what they
don't
give
give
you
it
in the
all away.
first 10 minutes. I won't.
I think you might enjoy it.
There's a guy. He's 19 years old. His name is David. He's going to college for the first year. Took a year off, and now he's going to go to college.
Smart.
He gets to this university, and while he gets out of his car, he's got his bag. He's never been like a popular kid or anything. He gets out, and all these people start going, "Hey," and just like waving to him. And he's like, "Oh, friendly place." And another guy's like, "Hey, what's going on, man? Welcome back." And he's like, "That's strange." A woman runs up, kisses him on the mouth. "Good to see you." And he's like, "What is happening? Is this like the most friendliest hippie commune in the world?" Then he gets into the dorms. These people keep coming and go, "Hey, welcome back, Eddie." And he's like, "It's David. I'm not Eddie." And they're like, "Ah, Eddie, you rascal." And then he gets into his room, and a guy comes in who's he sees him and he goes, "Oh my God." He goes, he knew that this guy named Eddie wasn't coming back to college, and now there's a guy standing there that looks exactly like Eddie. And he goes,
You freaking out yet?
Yeah.
he
I'm
goes,
kinda
what's your name? And he goes, "My name's David." He goes, "You have a twin brother." And he goes, "What?" He goes, "When were you born?" And he tells him his birthday. He goes, "Okay." And are you adopted? He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "We're calling this guy." So they call this guy named Eddie. He goes, they put him on the phone. Voice is identical. Like the exact same voice is talking back to him. And he's like, "When were you born? Where were you adopted?" He goes, "I don't know where I was adopted." Ma, where was I adopted?" And they said, "The agency's this." He goes, "That's where I was." So they were separated at birth as twins. So they drive 2 hours.
You're giving too much. You're giving
No,
too
this
much.
is in the trailer.
Okay.
The twist in the trailer is this Kevorkian
Yes.
test shit.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. They drive, instead of school, they drive 2 hours to this kid's house and they fall in love with each other. He opens the door and it's like
They
this
knew each
brother.
other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like this connection was like
Instantaneous,
Yeah.
just inseparable.
same hair, same build,
Same smile, same laugh,
everything.
same walk.
So this becomes really big news. The college paper writes a whole thing about it. The local paper, then it becomes like a little bigger. Then it gets on the New York Times. Then it's on the thing. And there are all these great photos because everyone wants to pick up this like feel good story.
Don't give it away. Are you
No,
going to
this isn't a- this is also in the trailer.
Freaking out.
Finally,
And I've seen
this
it.
lady is reading this story, and she's looking at the paper, and it looks exactly like her son.
Oh my God.
She goes home, and her friend of a different guy comes and goes, "Have you read the paper?" And she goes, "Here's my paper. I was about to tell you the exact same information. There's a third guy."
This is why you should smoke weed.
I have a
named-
stomach ache right now.
Yeah, there's a third guy, and he's like, he calls and says, I was born this day. I was adopted to the same thing, and I look exactly like the 2 boys that are in this
And
image.
it gets crazy. You
Triplets.
can't tell them anymore. It
That's
gets
all- yeah, that's the whole
crazier
trailer.
from there.
So you're trying
It
to
gets
figure out.
crazy.
This
Easier
is on
from there.
Netflix?
Yes.
Oh, I saw it on iTunes.
Oh, it might be. It might be one of the other.
I paid for it because
one of
it's
the
just
other
too
apps.
phenomenal.
Okay.
You should. It is just
Triplets separated at birth,
and
adopted
the
to different
story about where, when, how, and all of that, and the aftermath. You're
parents. I
just
told you the feel good part.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
There's a whole other dark
There is
side.
a wormhole
There's
of
Oh.
craziness.
It just makes you realize
Oh, goodness.
human nature is also barbaric, as it is beautiful.
for sure. But
I'm
I
terrified.
agree with what you said about how it was weird, but also how sweet that they found each other.
He said, "I'm terrified."
Yeah, but that's it. You gave me all the good stuff. now I'm
Tony,
just going to go
I
and
just
it's going to be a
met you.
nightmare. Yeah.
But I think your biggest problem is your fear.
Probably.
I think you have a fear of going over to the other side because you're afraid of what you're going to find.
Maybe.
You should be afraid of like face tattoos and
Yeah, and
I'm afraid
hand
of that, too.
tattoos.
yeah, murderers or something. Don't
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
afraid of the
Women
fun
who
stuff.
trick you into getting them pregnant. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
professional
that's-
athlete shit.
But
Yeah,
she's a
that's-
rapper, so that could
that's a
that
fear.
could
Are
be
you
a
a
thing.
rapper?
Yeah, a dabble.
Shut up. Do you freestyle?
I mean,
Ooh,
I can.
drop
but
some
I don't know
bars
if it
on
would
us.
be
Has
good.
you ever dropped any bars on your pod?
No, but I've listened
No.
to his music and it's fantastic. He can
Really?
also sing well. Usually rappers don't sing
No,
good.
usually they don't, except Post Malone.
Yeah.
No.
Also, I will
Face
encourage
tattoos.
if you're
Face
if you're
tattoos.
if you're gonna get into those rap community, you better try a little weed.
I mean, there's no studio that isn't hotbox.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I've definitely got a contact high. Like, come on. Like, you know,
I don't know. Come on.
my whole life.
No.
Yeah.
Contact
I went
high
to
is not a
Summer
real
Jam
thing.
2005 and Ludacris was the headliner and he did Blueberry Yum Yum and he's like, I need everybody to light up right now. And I'm in 9th grade. I'm just like, what's
You're
happening?
freaking out.
Yeah. And I've also been to a Dave Matthews concert. So it's happened.
That's my Dave Matthews impression.
Do you like
pretty good
it?
I respect his sustainability.
Yeah.
And I think he's very talented, but the music I don't connect with.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What's your kind of music? What do you like?
Depends on the mood. It really depends
What
on
do
the
you
mood.
listen to most?
Probably like Odessa stuff, but then I also will listen to like Stevie Nicks.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I'll get into like a little Johnny Cash,
Okay.
Dolly Parton if I'm feeling particularly flirty.
What is your family like? I want to know. You're from Syracuse.
They're very sweet.
Syracuse finest.
They're kind. They're very kind people.
Or were they wealthy?
No.
Not wealthy.
Middle class.
Middle class.
Yeah, my dad had 3 jobs. He did real estate. He did housing inspections for the city.
I try to
bartended.
picture you young. I like to do that because you're like the way you talk about your family, the way you like the fact that you listen to Stevie Nicks made
I
me
love
go
Stevie
interesting.
Nicks.
This is fascinating.
That's like mom music, but I love it. Stevie Nicks is like she's literally like a gypsy.
yeah, just wears scarves all year
Yeah,
round.
she's weird. Like Lana Del Rey, I feel like is our generation Stevie Nicks a little bit.
It's a
She's
good
a little.
comparison. Yeah.
She's like down. For some reason because
Like a hipster version.
Yeah, she's like a
Yeah.
hipster version. And I kind of feel this way about you. As a comedian, there's this whole stigma that you have to be negative and mad and angry all the time. I'm a happy person.
Right.
I love life. I love my family, my friends, and I'm generally a joyful,
Yeah.
happy person. So I don't know. I like down music.
Yeah.
I like low.
I'm like that too. Like the music I
down-tempo
listen to is
music.
like deep and sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more of like a downbeat, like just sort of chill stuff. But it depends
Yeah.
on the mood.
I'm always asking people what kind of music they listen to because I don't like. I just want to find new music.
Pre-show, female rappers.
Really?
Yeah, before I do comedy, there's a lot of fun, like really ratchet
Top 5.
female rappers. Right now,
Just-
Oh
Yeah.
well, let's do the fuck, marry, kill that we did in the car that I screwed up.
Yeah. You
What?
never made the third
I
one.
never gave you a third one, but can you think of a third one since you're better at knowing rap and stuff?
what is it? Fuck, marry, kill
Oh, here we go.
rappers. Do
Iggy Azalea, Nicki Minaj, and Cardi B. That'd have been a
it.
perfect
Fuck,
three.
marry, kill.
Fuck,
Yeah.
marry, kill. Iggy, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B. That's what I should have done.
I'm gonna have to say marry Cardi because she's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Fuck Nicki. And I'm sorry, Iggy.
You gotta kill Iggy.
You got to go.
Really? What
You
about
got
for
to go.
you?
Oh boy.
I'm just way too like hard on those gals that I would just kill them all. Like I couldn't.
You can't. That's not how the
Yeah.
game
I
is
know, that's
played.
what
I
sucks.
feel like I'd have to marry Iggy because I feel like the other two, I'd be like, you're so obnoxious. Like it'd be too much.
The way they talk.
It'd just be too much. Like I'm like, can you turn the energy down a little bit?
But how do you know not behind closed doors that they're
I know.
different?
I don't.
What if
I
Iggy's
don't.
wild?
I only know the
Yeah, we
public
only know
persona.
their personas.
Yeah, so
we
we're going
can't-
by personas.
Yeah.
Okay. And the mother business and hold it down. That's my Iggy impression.
Yeah. God, what happened to her?
Black Widow, baby.
Yeah, I'd have to just marry her, and then I don't know. It's
Iggy
such a
Azalea
tough-
fans are wildly loyal. I learned that by I made one joke on the internet about Iggy Azalea, and I got just barraged. I don't even know if bots or what, but I got like
Iggy
100
bots?
tweets like an hour.
Really?
I wrote a tweet because a lot of like verified people were retweeting it. Like that's very funny.
What did you say?
So since it got that attention from those people, like it got attention from all the people that don't want you making fun of
You
Iggy
got
Azalea.
stuck in the river.
Do you know Rachel Dolezal, the girl who identifies as
Dolezal.
being black?
Yeah. Mhm.
They did like a Netflix documentary about her, and everyone was upset, even though you can identify as whatever you want.
Right, and she
in my
also
opinion.
spoke for Black people's rights.
Yeah, she worked for
It was
NAACP.
involved in the Black people community.
She had
and
two
was on the
adopted
board.
black kids.
Yeah,
she had a black boyfriend.
Right,
She
celebrating the community and
grew
felt
up in a black culture.
right,
So she believes she's black because she identifies that way.
right, great.
Do what you
Live
want.
your life. Is
Do
she
what
hurting
you want.
anybody?
That's
no.
what I say.
She's an artist. She's a single mom, or I don't know if she's a single mom, but she's a mom of a couple
Yeah.
kids.
Do what
Living
you
her
want.
life.
That's
Live
what
your
I
life.
say.
Who cares?
So I tweeted when they made a Netflix
I
documentary.
see where this is going.
Yeah, I said, did you see that new Netflix documentary about the woman who believes she's black? I think it's about Iggy Azalea. That's
funny.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
good.
silly
It's a funny
joke.
parallel.
It's just a
Silly
stupid
joke.
joke. Yeah,
Yeah.
misdirection.
Yeah.
People
misdirection.
lost their minds.
Well, people are
Yeah.
very like anytime you talk. I made
Race.
a joke about Beyonce once.
Yeah.
I mean, I feared for my life for about a week.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
pretty sure that a 14-year-old was gonna stab me with a Barbie doll on my way to the car or something. Like
Yeah.
they
Throw a
come
lemon
out.
at you.
People go crazy.
They go crazy. The Beehive. You don't want to mess with the
No.
Beehive.
But also, that's
Don't.
stupid. They make it like we're joking. It's their jokes.
Our job is a joke, and their job is to be fanatics. So
Well,
when
also,
you come
why
at
are they
them,
allowed to not like stuff, but we can't? Like, even
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't like Iggy Azalea, but I'm allowed to not like Iggy Azalea if I want. I don't have to
right?
like
And
her.
also, who said it best? Help me out. Saturday Night Live. Tina Fey said, just because you decide you don't like something doesn't mean it's empirically not good.
Right.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Right, exactly.
So just because you're crazy and millions and billions of people are crazy about Lady Gaga doesn't mean I have to like Lady Gaga.
No, I don't. Guess what? There's a whole bunch of music.
But I also reserve the right to not.
I love Gaga. I'm a fan
Me too.
of Gaga.
I love her to death.
Big fan.
I'm allowed to not.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
choose to.
I wouldn't mind being like an Iggy Azalea, like a rapper. I think everyone kind of wants a little bit of that, just like a little bit of that, like hard edge, being able to rap and like have my nails all
free
done.
Speech. I used to say comedy was the last free speech. Not true.
Yeah, you're right, because I feel
rap
like
is
you
the
can
last
get away
free. You can
with
say
a lot
whatever
more.
you'd like. You can say
Whoa,
anything you'd
I
like.
never even thought that's a good tweet.
We have to be more careful than ever. It has to be real good. Whereas rap is inherently reckless with
that
words.
is such a good
verbally reckless.
point.
Yeah, they can do anything
They
they
can
want.
say anything. I mean, they're
you'd be like,
woman
that-
shaming, they're white shaming, they're black shaming, they're
Yeah.
I mean, they're
It's
literally
racist, it's bigoted.
It's racist, it's bigotry. It really is
it's
all of that.
misogynistic.
Yeah,
it's
violent.
It's like very braggy. It's very whatever. And yet, if you say like, "Hey, I find that one rap lyric to be really insensitive towards women," they'd be like, "Shut the fuck up, man!" Like it's protected by a strange
there's like a
energy.
There's just an orb around it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You're right though. Like rap is definitely sort of
do and say what you want.
removed from having to defend themselves from what they say.
It's very weird.
And it does. I'm wondering, does it do damage to the community?
100%.
To the black community, or to, the music industry? Like that sort of, I'm looking at you like you're,
Yeah.
Dr. Dre over here.
I'm not the spokesperson.
He won't step in on anything that's
won't?
controversial.
I love being controversial.
No,
It's
He
fun.
won't. He's not going to.
I just don't have a lot of opinions on it because I don't know.
I just think that's
It
a
misses me.
double standard.
Yeah. Well, no, it's a fascinating world to be in. Like if it's in a song or a rap track, I don't know if you
okay.
call it a song, it's literally free from any question. But when I do a joke, people go, "Well, I'm going to criticize that or pick it apart, or what is he saying here?" Why can't I just say, "Oh, it was a joke. My only intent was
Right.
humor."
It'd be interesting to have
Wonder
a
why that
show
is.
of comedians who have to interject rap lyrics into their sets
Right.
and to see what sort of happens there.
I
Yeah.
think maybe
Or maybe say a sentence and then go, "Oh, that wasn't mine. I was literally quoting
I'm sorry.
so-and-so."
That was Lil Wayne.
yeah.
I had a theory about this once. I can't believe I'm talking about it on here, but I was going to do a thing where I take a comedian who's maybe not as well received, like just get some kind of masculine man in comedy, pay him a certain amount to memorize 4 or 5 of Eliza Schlesinger's bits.
I just talked about her
Then
too.
put him on stage, have him do that exact material, and watch to see if people are triggered or outraged, and then be like, "Oh, by the way, just so you know, this wasn't my material. I was doing a female comedian's material named Eliza Schlesinger," because I find it very fascinating that a lot of women in comedy, and I'll name names, I'm not afraid of it.
I'm not
Jamie
afraid.
Lee. Laurie Kilmartin, Nikki Glazer, they are, Sarah Schaefer, very triggered by like toxic masculinity. Beth Stelling. However, they are somewhat doing what a douchey
equivalent?
guy would do to get laughs and attention.
Maybe
So they're using the same tools and being toxically masculine in a female's body, and then judging any male who would do that.
that's interesting. I never thought about that, because I don't know. Like, I'm friends with Jamie Lee. I don't know her stand up in and out.
Yeah.
I know Beth Stelling. I would consider her a friend, but that is an interesting.
Well, I just watched a show where Beth Stelling jokingly, like, she had a line where she was like, "Yeah, we're probably gonna go fuck," about her boyfriend,
Right.
and then the girl's like, "Yeah," and she goes, she said something about if I don't like masturbate first, and then like made the girl like smell her finger or something. It was in a show.
Right. Did she put her
Why-
fingers in the girl's face?
Why is that funny?
Where
Is it only funny because that's how we believe boys to talk? But now, since a girl is talking like that, it's flipped on its head. Like, ha ha ha. How do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying.
However, if that character was a guy, we would we would be like, that's such a primitive way to speak and douchey and fratty. But we think it's hilarious when a girl is douchey and fratty.
Where have they voiced their or expressed their disdain for broy masculinity?
Usually on Twitter and stuff like that, they usually are
Right.
very annoyed.
So it's like the messages are inconsistent, sort of.
Right.
Like their comedy represents one thing, and then what they're saying, it's sort of like a contradictory
Right.
scenario.
That's what I meant. They're
Yeah.
like activists against a certain thing.
I think anything can
However, they're capitalizing on the exact thing they
Right.
claim that they don't want in the world.
My thing with comedy and everything is anything can be funny if it's coming from your truth. Because
Sure.
if you're speaking it from your truth, there's an emotion tied to that.
Yeah.
And true emotion is felt. And that's usually when I don't have a good set, is because I'm not connected to it emotionally.
Yeah.
So, and I have jokes that are, I don't think they're masculine or like
Right.
misogynistic, but definitely from a strong point of view
Yeah.
that aren't your Seinfeld clean jokes. But
Here's-
I'm speaking from something that either happened to me or occurred in my life. So I would have a hard time. My thing with Eliza is I think she's figured out how to do stand up. I don't know if she's speaking her truth.
Right.
I think she's figured out how to say things that come across as funny to her fans.
Right.
But who the fuck is she? Who is she?
Right.
I
It's
don't
not
know
a
who
point
you
of view.
are.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, what I was going to say, like, just to be clear about my take, if I'm going to name names,
Yeah.
I don't want them to stop doing the comedy they're doing. I want them to stop being so aggressive against other people that do what they do. That's what
Right.
I'd like. I'd like less tweets about how men are chauvinist, whatever, and then them getting to do chauvinist jokes like on the Tonight Show. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want them to stop doing what they're doing. I love their art and I love their comedy. I like what they're doing. I don't like the moaning on Twitter about how, like, oh, you don't know what it's like to be. It's like you're doing what we all do.
Have you ever,
You're
besides
not different.
on the podcast, have you ever said anything to them to their face?
I would if
Yeah.
they would. I've never.
I would
Nikki
just like to
and me
see,
have a
like-
strange dynamic.
You know, the opportunity to see both those things happening at once is obviously hard because it's in different mediums. But
Well, like
I,
Nikki,
if that's what's happening, I agree with the inconsistency because I feel the same way about any comedian.
Right.
Where it's like, you know, your message on stage isn't.
well, Nikki did a thing.
Same.
I'm trying to remember. It was some sort of panel show. She got this huge applause break because she was like, she liked a celebrity, and they asked why, and she goes, oh, just to hear a guy who doesn't have opinions. Oh, like she was like saying like, I would love a guy that's just that pretty that doesn't talk or something like
Right.
that. And they got this huge applause break. And it was very funny and made me chuckle too. But the idea of that is something that we scorn men for saying.
But you know what's hard? I get what you're saying. I think we're in a hard place right now because we're in a transitional time where women are finding their place in this, you know, traditionally dominated, male-dominated industry.
Mhm.
If you want to, you know, like
Yeah.
look at it as what it's been like through history,
Right.
it's been men, and then even still, like as a chick, I go on shows and I'm the only chick still.
Yeah, but I've talked about this a billion times. There's less women trying to be funny.
There are less women
There's
trying to
Lucille
be
Ball.
funny.
There's Carol Burnett. There's there's a long history of women who tried to be funny, were funny, succeeded at being funny, had phenomenal careers at
Yes.
being funny. There's a place for it. In fact, if you ask Richard Barrett at the Comedy Magic Club, Jamie Masada at the Laugh Factory, Adam Egget at the Comedy Store, they need more women.
Yep.
Women who aren't even good are getting sets
I know.
because they want more women.
Yeah.
I am tired of it's so hard for us. It isn't.
But some women,
It's like me being
some
like,
women
why
don't
aren't
know how
there
to-
more men babysitters?
But
It's a female-dominated business. A lot of guys don't want to be babysitters.
yeah, no, I understand that.
You
I'm
want-
saying from their perspective where, you know, they haven't figured out how to sort of navigate in, and I'm not saying they, like the comedians that we're talking about, just women in general,
Yeah.
who haven't figured out how to navigate in the
They just don't
landscape
wanna do
without
it.
bitching or without using like you know,
What am I supposed to...
right, like just without
What's my
victimizing
voice?
themselves.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I've never, like whenever anyone's asked me like, what's it like to be a female comedian? I've never considered that.
Right.
I've never really considered, oh, I'm a female, it's harder. Because I always thought that, like for me, it's like, well, there's less people on the lineup, and me saying like I'm the only chick, I say that because it's like, oh, I get where women can have that point of view because there hasn't been, when you go to a show, a bunch of females
But
where
why
you're
would
like
it be
powwowing.
equal? Look at society.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like in your school, how many guys were trying to be funny?
Every single
100?
one.
All of them. How many girls were trying to be funny? Not as many. There was probably a few funny girls trying to be funny,
Right.
and a lot of them valued other things. They were trying to get good grades, or they were trying to be the most pretty, or they were trying to be the most fashionable. That's what they valued.
Yeah.
Humor is a thing that dudes try to be. So like 500 guys moved to LA just now, and they all think they're going to be the next Chris D'Elia.
They're actually outside at Tone Naked Podcast.
Yeah, 4 chicks moved to LA today thinking they're going to be stand-up comedians. It's just men try to be funny, and girls, there's a lot of very funny women, but for the most part, if you ask like a lot of girls, like, I've never wanted to be a comedian.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the back, any dude that comes to my show is always like, I've always wanted to get up there, because they want the attention and they want the thing. And plus there's this delusion in men that we're all hilarious. Whereas girls don't grow up learning. They don't grow up wanting to be.
But you just said men think they're all hilarious.
Yeah.
That's also, as a woman who's been in this industry for a while, and also I'm on the other side where I don't like to victimize myself. I see the benefit in being a woman. But because there literally has been so many men who are the gatekeepers of a lot of situations, and they think men, they have to break that mentality of, men are funny. Women aren't funny.
There are these gatekeepers giving spots to women they know aren't funny because they just need some sort of woman.
Right. And I get that. But like, I'm just playing the devil's advocate where I understand the point of view. I think the execution is the issue because...
I think the bigger problem is not that these men aren't giving opportunities to girls. I think the big problem is that they're trying to fuck these girls. That's the problem.
Yeah. And there's also girls who fuck the men.
Ooh,
I've seen in my... Look...
It's hard to be friends with a talented, attractive woman and not try to hook up with them as a guy.
But I've also seen women use their body to get ahead.
Right.
And my issue is like where women are yelling and screaming about what's being done to them, but they also are doing what's being done to them. It's a very difficult situation, and I think
they'll do it, they'll get the thing, and then say, "I shouldn't have had to do that." Well, you didn't have to do that.
And also, this subject can permeate any issue that's going on in society. I really believe, because
more
essentially
so in this city,
for sure. But like, it comes down to opportunity, I think, and it comes down to your ideology about yourself. Are you a victim or are you a survivor?
Right.
Because if you're a victim,
a victor.
A victor, yeah. Thank you. If you're a victim, you're never going to have opportunities.
Sure.
But if you're a survivor, you're going to create your own opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So and I think it comes down to that, like, instead of bitching about being a woman and not getting opportunities because of it, instead of bitching about the opportunities you didn't get, you should be creating ones for yourself.
James Dean sucked a guy's dick to get a movie role.
Good for him.
Right. And now...
Is that fact?
Yes.
Is that a movie fact? Is that an IMDb?
There's a lot of things on there about it. Here's the thing. What if James Dean years later was like, I shouldn't have had to do that? No, what? Yes, but you shouldn't have had to.
Nobody forced you.
Well, maybe. We don't know the scenario. He might have felt pressured to do it or whatever. But here's the thing.
Who's Dick? Do we know who's Dick?
There's just some famous director back in the day. Some guy. But...
Where's that porno?
James Dean. That'd have been good. That'd been a good one. But so, I mean, I don't know. All this, it's very complex.
It is very complex because there's a lot of different layers, and you're dealing with individuals, and then you're dealing with genders, and then you're dealing with creatives.
Yeah.
But the core issue is, are you a victim or a survivor?
Yeah.
Yes. So, I get both sides of the
Victim
story.
or a victor?
Victim or victor. I get both sides of the story, but I've been through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of crazy things happen to me, and I learn from it. I feel the pain, and I grow that scar tissue, and then I move on.
Right. I agree.
Some women, men get stuck in these places where, I can't do it because of this. And
it's become a cause.
It's also not only that, it is a cause. It's the thing that holds them back so they don't have to do anymore.
Right. When also, I feel like even when I'm agreeing with them, I'm agitated. Even while being an ally, I'm like, this again.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like how many times am I going to hear this? Like, and this thing is like, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's hard. Imagine being a guy in this business. There's a billion of me.
There is now. You're
I'm
fucked.
so replaceable.
Now you're
You
screwed.
know? And now I watch girls who are getting things because there's not a lot of women. They should be happy there's less women in comedy.
I know.
In fact, celebrate that this business has not had a lot of women in it, and you get to be one of them.
Well, that's in the whole route. The
How
way we're going
replaceable
about it is
I
a
am.
lot. Yeah.
I walk into these auditions. There's 75 of me.
Yep.
When you go in, they go, yeah, I'd like a woman's perspective on this, and she's very funny, and she's doing all these different things. And so while you're saying we need more, well, I love that. That's what you want. You think you want that? You're full of shit.
I know. Do you want to go on a I know that is.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, go.
We need
Yes.
shows all women.
More women. Let's get
but
more.
That's uneven. Like, just let's just start to like really we'll even the playing field, and funny is funny, but we don't need to have all dudes on one show and all women on another, and safe spaces and all these.
It's nonsense.
It's not. What's
you want a
going
safe
on
space,
is pure nonsense.
See a therapist. That's
Stay
your
home.
safe space.
Stay home in your bed.
Yep.
There's your safe space. Get your snacks. Stay home
Ask
in bed.
Ronda Rousey what happens when you encourage all the women to join your industry. You get kicked in the fucking face, and you become the 900th best woman in Ultimate Fighting.
Yep. Because it's filled.
Because women in Japan were going, I could beat the shit out of this lady. But
Yep.
Ronda Rousey was the best out of 8. There was like 8 women in UFC, and she was the best in 8. And so then when thousands of women are like, I could do that. I've been a kickboxer over here for this long, and I did this over. And then watch how fast Ronda Rousey had to go to fake fighting in WWF. And
Did she?
Yeah, she became a pro wrestler.
She's a pro wrestler.
Yeah, she's the champ. Now she's already. You've missed a window. She's been there for
She's
what,
gone
a year?
now, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You missed the whole
Yeah,
window.
she was there for a year. Yeah.
She was there for a year.
Whoa.
Now she's gonna have babies with her husband. But here's the thing.
That's fun.
But how fast did that happen? Because she goes, "Oh, I encouraged all these ladies to come over, and then I
that's what
break
it
my
takes.
nose."
From our perspective, in our time, in our lifetime, we see it, and it's so imbalanced. Like, when people look back in the future, they're gonna be like, "Oh, what were they fucking arguing about?"
Right.
Like, because it'll be balanced at that point.
But I
with
don't think
women
it'll
and
ever
men.
be
Then there'll be some other.
equalized.
Well, it'll never be equalized, and then there'll always be something else that people want more of.
Well, but my
Imagine
problem
when,
is that if it's never equalized, it will continue with the complaining. They'll still be like, "No women on this show." Yes, he probably has 30 contacts in his phone.
But just as equally, there'll always be dudes that are like perverts and scum that
Right.
say shit to women. Or there'll always be both sides of that. Women complaining and dudes using their power
Yeah.
to take advantage.
I'm not saying men are innocent of anything. They're guilty of almost every.
I don't think you are.
Yeah, but I think that what's happening is, so they did this thing where the Forbes list, it was like the 10 top highest paid male comedians, and it was like Gabriel Iglesias, it was Chris
Hart,
Rock, Jerry Seinfeld, all these different
Chappelle.
things. And all these
Chappelle.
women lost their mind on Twitter, at least the girls I follow, saying like, "Oh, how come it's no female comedians?" Well, they're just
Wasn't the
measuring
top
the
10 men?
ticket sales. No, it was just top 10 comedians, and
Oh,
it
top 10
wasn't
comedians.
a single woman. It wasn't Amy Schumer.
well,
there
then
was
they
no,
should be. Here's where. Okay, can I tell you?
Why aren't people going to see female comedians then? Because this is just based on the numbers. It's not what they get paid. They get paid on what they bring in.
Can I tell you how that makes me feel?
Yeah.
Like a list like that,
Yeah.
encouraged.
Sure.
That makes me like, oh, dope. I could be the first one.
Right.
There's no women on that list
Right.
yet. I got some work to do.
But also, like, Ellen or something like that, like, would probably be on that list if she toured every
Right.
weekend.
Yeah, she's
like
not a
Gabriel
touring
Iglesias.
comedian. Yeah, those guys are on
Or
the road.
like, so those numbers are going to have a lot of like statistical data that isn't being put right on the front
Right.
page there.
Yeah.
So like, there, and also, women are part of the ticket sales for Jerry Seinfeld and Gabriel Iglesias. Like, there's women that go to see those comedians also.
Yeah.
It's not like we're like, let's only give our money to Gabriel Iglesias. No, you say, I'm going to go see who's funny and who I like.
Right, you're also included in on making those,
Yeah.
making those the numbers
It's
on
such a
that
strange
list.
thing.
Well, it's it's going to take a while for everything to get balanced, and even then, it won't be balanced ever. But there's two sides to the way the scenario plays out, and there's the victimized woman and the strong woman, and there's the same with men.
I believe men need to be better humans.
The victors.
Men need to get better at being human beings. Men have it's like a call to action to stop being scumbags, grow up, stop being pieces of shit.
up.
That's what men.
Grow up.
That's what men need to do. And
what I'm
women are doing great. All you need to do is stop crying. That's stop the complaining.
I think like the issue can sort of be encapsulated in a moment for me that I had where I was doing a show and I was talking about rape jokes, and I was in like Detroit or something, and these girls came up to me and she asked if she could tell me why those jokes weren't funny.
Were or weren't?
Weren't. And she proceeded to tell me they weren't funny because it's not funny to talk about something that happens to women that's so serious, and you can't make fun of a topic like that that's so serious. I said, well, A, I was raped.
Okay.
B, this is how I dealt with it.
Yep.
Humor. And C, I've healed from it. So it no longer triggers me.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, are you a rape victim? And she said, yes. And I said, well, I would recommend going to some therapy because you're triggered.
Yeah, by hearing it.
You're triggered by hearing it. And anytime there's like a heckle or something, that's been the consistent cause of why they heckled. Because they hear something and they're triggered.
Yeah. This isn't my idea, but I've quoted it a billion times. Ricky Gervais says, if laughter is the best medicine, it means medicine. When do you take medicine? For when you're sick or there's a hurt. So laughter is supposed to be the medicine for the hurt. Mm-hmm. That's why people aren't making jokes about balloons. We have to make jokes about serious things so that there's medicine for it.
Yes.
So it's the reason a rape joke can be healthy is because it's medicine for, like, you're able to take the gravity out of it. Like, this is helping me. You know what? I should laugh at this. I should be able to, it's not making the rape worse. It's not taking my rape away. It's just saying, oh, this is like a medicine for it. Yeah. Yeah. That's why jokes should be about serious things.
They should be about serious things.
And if you break down every joke, there is something there.
The core of it is serious.
Alcoholism, or like you resenting your parents.
Pedophilia, alcoholism, rape,
we joke about all those.
All of that.
I'll do 20 minutes about a homeless guy. This is a hypothetical, but like I could do 20 minutes about a homeless guy, and everyone's like, ha. And then the second I say rape, they're like, that's wrong. You're like,
the dude who's on the street,
it's okay to make fun of him.
Because in LA, people care more about stray cats than they do stray vets.
Right.
I mean, it's so inconsistent.
We'll laugh at this.
Yeah.
But this one I've been
compartmentalizing.
It's about me.
So
I've went through this.
A lot of people are so self-righteous. Have you seen Ricky Gervais's new show, Afterlife?
I watched it in one sitting.
Me too.
Yeah, it's so good.
So good. Talk about making light of a dark subject.
I'll watch anything with him.
That's
he's
such
like
a good
suicidal
show.
every
I love
episode.
Him.
Yeah.
He's really funny. He's good. Yeah, he's suicidal.
Every episode he's like wants to take his life.
It's so good. I was like, damn, this is like such clean, perfect writing.
I'm not gonna botch it, but he said, when am I allowed to make a rape joke? And the girl goes, you can make rape jokes when you know that nobody in that comedy club has ever been raped. And he goes, has never experienced that firsthand. He goes, well, that'd be a strange sign to put on the door, wouldn't it? We're doing a comedy show downstairs. You can't come in if you've been raped. He goes, I don't know if I want to make that. Seems unfair.
Maybe I need to start putting that up on my comedy shows.
Yeah, it was just such a saying. I don't think I should do that. That seems pretty discriminative
material.
to not. Yeah.
If you consented and it didn't work.
Where are you at this week? Where can people find you, see you?
When does this go up? When do you put this up?
Wednesday. This will be on.
Oh, I'm going to be in Chicopee, Massachusetts, Western Mass, May 2nd and 3rd at the Loft Comedy Club. You should do that club.
Yeah,
my friend owns that club. It's a nice club. Then I'm going to be at the Saratoga Winery May 4th and someplace May 5th. I'm not sure. It's on my website, JESSIMAE.com.
JESSIMAE.com.
Mm-hmm.
No, JESSIMAE Peluso.
Nope, just JESSIMAE.com.
Are you trying to do just be one name?
I didn't think about the last name. I thought it was too verbose, so I just did JESSIMAE, and it happened to be available.
I like that. It kind of sounds like two names, JESSIMAE.
Well, it is. It's a combination of Jessica and May.
And also Madonna, one name. Ichiro, one name.
Beyonce.
Dave Matthews always goes by Dave.
Cher. I'm the Cher of comedy.
JESSIMAE. Yeah, well, even Eliza. Nobody says Schlesinger. It's always Eliza.
Well, you don't know about
JESSIMAE.
Dark conversations we have about her. We say full names. When you're in trouble, we say full names.
Yeah, I like that.
Middle
this
name
week,
too.
I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, at the Hilarities Pickwick and Frolic. Also on Thursday, I'm throwing out the first pitch for the Cleveland Indians, which is very good. I'll be watching. I'll be secretly rooting for my Seattle Mariners, but throwing out the first pitch for the Indians, wearing an Indians shirt. Sorry, I have to do it.
You gotta wear the Mariners shirt under and then just like rip it off after the first pitch.
When you told me that, I considered it.
Yeah,
and then I thought, that's a horrible
Why
idea.
wouldn't that bring wouldn't it bring the whole stadium
They'll
together?
just start booing me.
Yeah, you'd get...
you can't end on a boo.
And also, when I threw the first pitch for the Seattle Mariners, I did one little silly thing. I threw it over the backstop to be funny. And I'm still being punished
Yeah,
for
you're
that.
still on their shit
What do you mean
list.
people are mad at you for not taking it seriously?
Yeah, I guess. I think he wanted me to just throw the pitch and not be a goofball. So I'm still in a weird way, like in this like gray area of like, oh, he doesn't play by the rules. He's because baseball can take themselves very serious.
I mean,
So let alone being a guest of the Cleveland Indians, throwing out the ceremonial first pitch, them plugging my shows that weekend,
Yeah, that'd be a
and
big
then
problem.
being like, I'm rooting for the opposing
It'd
team.
be funny, but
It
it
would
would
be
be
funny.
a big
I
problem.
dare
It would be
you.
They'd be like, what the fuck?
It'd be great
dare you.
disrespect, and it also would not. It would possibly burn
be
a bridge with
blacklisted.
any other
Yeah.
first pitch. I'm trying to throw the first pitch at every park.
yeah. So
So I'm
you
gonna-
probably should behave.
Yeah, and with the Twins, I played nice. I posted all the photos. I just posted the video of it. I loved the big mascot. I did a comedy show for. I was all Twins. You'd have no idea I was a Mariners fan the day I was at the Twins. So I'm gonna do that with each park.
You should.
Yeah.
You should just play nice.
Yeah,
the way
and
to
I'm
go
gonna
about it.
Keep playing,
secretly
play nice.
just kind of go over and give some baps if any Mariners are around. Just, "Hey, I love you.
Yeah.
Tony, you got anything to plug, Bubba?
Your
Just-
rap album?
Yeah, it's coming. Just follow me on social media. I am Tony Reavis and stay updated with all that stuff.
I want to
There it is.
rap. I want you
Dude,
to
he's
rap.
phenomenal. It's really good stuff. And I mean, also, you have to take that with a grain of salt. I know nothing about hip hop, but he's just very talented.
I would love
Thank
to hear
you.
your
Talented
controversial
guy.
rap lyrics and see if they
It's not controversial,
controversial.
at
push the
all.
ticket. Maybe you should start going in that route. Maybe you
Well,
should
you
start
know
talking
what?
about bitches and hoes
Macklemore
Maybe.
used to rap like that, and nobody liked him.
Yeah.
Then he got clean,
and positive.
started talking about things that were fun, even rapping about his dick sometimes,
Thrift-
like just
thrift
being
store.
silly, being
Yeah.
playful.
Yeah.
And that's when he took off. Was
I
when
think he's living his truth. And
He's
that's,
living his truth.
and that's what's most important to me. I'm not going to rap about. I just I get this a lot, which is interesting. Like people are like, oh, you rap? I'm like, it's just like it's like poetry to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a way I can express myself. It's a talent that I found that I have, and
well, the word rap has a stigma with a lot of
exactly.
people.
But I
does.
don't.
How many babies you
mine's
have?
very-
How much time
yeah.
have you done in jail?
Very different
Right.
than that. So it's
Do you remember that rap song "My Dick"
no.
by Mickey?
Yeah, Mickey Avalon.
Mickey Avalon.
Yeah.
My dick, rumble in the jungle. You
I
ever
thought
thought?
that was Lil Dicky, is what I used to think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's very similar. He's
It
like
is
this
very
white
and-
rapper.
but it's
kinda,
like goofy.
Yeah.
It's just a song about his dick and how it's greater
Yeah.
than yours. It's a great rap
Yeah.
song.
My dick speaks Spanish. You're like, what?
You're like, why?
What is that?
Poor K.
How?
Does it order
My
food
dick
for
doesn't
you?
even know English. It has no second language or first language.
Your dick
Yeah.
probably speaks the king's English.
My dick knows cursive.
Whoa.
Yeah, which is
Impressive.
very
Does it happen
fascinating.
when you pee in the snow?
Yes, I
Okay.
do like calligraphy.
And it's pointless. Why did we even learn cursive? Nobody uses it.
No one uses it.
Yeah, well,
You just
hey,
wait when everything fails.
My dick can hear you right now.
Don't be rude. Rude.
really
Ain't rude. Be a good point.
Grow up. Grow up.
I love you. Thank you for being here. You're my favorite person.
You're gonna have something stolen by the time
Sure.
I leave.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Just think of it as a gift.
It is a gift. I'm gonna steal one of your bikes.
No,
No?
I love those.
Okay.
Friendship.
Just like that. 56. Week 56 in the books. Thank you, JESSIMAE, for showing up. I know we've had some podcast guests just not show up. So thank you. We love you. You're the best. You're very funny. Go see JESSIMAE. Go to JESSIMAE.com. You can buy her weed box or go get tickets for any of her upcoming shows. This week I will be at Hilarities in Cleveland. I've said it a few times on this podcast, but just get your tickets quick. Wednesday through Saturday in Cleveland at Hilarities Comedy Club. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for reviewing and rating and subscribing. Thank you to all the Patreons. I love you with all my mouth, butt, and heart and brain.